Here's what no one tells you when you start shopping for a used car in America right now. The average one costs more than $25,000. The average new car is closing in on $50,000, and somewhere in that gap, millions of people are trying to find reliable transportation without destroying their finances. The market has traps built into it at every price point, dealer tactics that quietly cost buyers thousands, private sellers concealing damage, and online listings that look like a deal until you actually show up. This is your complete budget guide to buying a used car in the United States in 2026. What each price range actually delivers, which cars consistently hold up over time, and exactly how to protect yourself from the deals that look good until they aren't. Start with the market reality because it shapes every decision you're about to make. Used car prices peaked in April of 2022 at around $31,000, up roughly 45% from before the pandemic. That was an extraordinary run-up driven by production shutdowns, a chip shortage, and millions of vehicles that simply never got built. Since that peak, prices have been drifting back down. The current national average sits around $25,600 based on market data updated through March 2026. Though Cargurus is tracking average listings closer to $28,000 as of April 2026. Depending on which source you trust, the answer is somewhere between those two numbers, and either way, that is a historically expensive used car market by any pre-pandemic standard. What makes it harder is that prices are edging back up right now. Carfax reported that average used car prices across all segments rose more than $450 in a single month going into April 2026, about 1.7%. The reason is tariffs. New car prices are rising as automakers pass tariff costs onto buyers, and that is pushing people who would have bought new into the used market instead. More buyers chasing the same pool of used cars pushes prices up. At the same time, fewer lease returns are hitting the market because leasing activity hit its low point back in 2022, which means there are fewer low-mileage, late-model used vehicles available right now than there normally would be. That supply shortage is expected to improve over the next 1 to 2 years, but right now, in 2026, buyers are dealing with tighter inventory and rising prices at the same time. The second cost pressure that buyers consistently underestimate is financing. Average used car loan rates were sitting at around 11.3% in late 2025. Think about what that means in real terms. Finance $20,000 over 60 months at 11.3%, and your payment is roughly $430 a month before insurance, before fuel, before any maintenance or repairs. Nationally, the average used car monthly payment across all finance deals was $537. That's the real cost of ownership, not the sticker price. When you're shopping for a used car, you need to build a budget around the total monthly number, purchase price, interest rate, loan term, insurance estimate, and a maintenance buffer, not just the price tag on the listing. Now let's go through the market by budget, because each price range has a completely different reality attached to it. Under $15,000 is the most difficult place to shop right now, and the data shows exactly why. As of early 2026, dealers nationally had only 31 days of supply of vehicles priced below $15,000 compared to 42 days for the overall market. That means the cheapest cars are selling the fastest, which puts the seller in control of the conversation. You lose negotiating leverage the moment you're shopping where demand is highest and supply is lowest. In this range, you're mostly looking at 2017 model years and older. That's not automatically a deal breaker. A well-maintained 2017 Honda Civic or Toyota Corolla with reasonable miles is a genuinely solid daily driver that can last another 100,000 miles with basic care. But the key phrase there is well-maintained. At this price point, the condition of the specific car in front of you matters more than the reputation of the brand on the badge. Consumer Reports' top pick for used cars under $10,000 is the Mazda 6, covering 2014 through 2021 model years. It delivers a smooth four-cylinder engine, around 32 miles per gallon, and a well-finished interior that holds up better than most in its class for $10,000 to $15,000. Their consistently recommended options include the Honda Civic, the Honda Fit, and the Toyota Corolla. If you want a small SUV in this range, the Subaru Crosstrek is worth including in your search. The reason these names keep showing up isn't brand loyalty, it's data. A 2025 IC Cars study that analyzed millions of vehicles found Toyota has a 17.8% chance of reaching 250,000 miles, Honda at 10.8% versus 4.8% for the industry average. That's a meaningful gap. The challenge in this budget tier is that finding a genuinely clean example takes effort. Deferred maintenance is common, undisclosed accident damage happens, and odometer fraud hits harder here because every extra mile on a sub-$15,000 car matters more than it would on a newer one. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates that roughly 450,000 vehicles are sold every year in the United States with false odometer readings. Not a rare event, nearly 500,000 per year. When you're shopping in this range, verify the mileage against the title, compare it to service records, and look at whether tire wear and pedal wear match what the odometer says. $15,000 to $25,000 is where the market genuinely opens up, and it's the strongest. Value window right now. Reliable late model vehicles and CPO options start to overlap here. You can find a 2018 to 2022 Toyota Camry Hybrid Consumer Report Stop Hybrid pick under $20,000, which gets 47 miles per gallon combined and covers up to 610 miles between fill-ups. You can find a Toyota Tacoma from the 2005 to 2015 era, which Consumer Reports rates as the best used truck under $20,000. A Mazda CX-5 with strong safety credentials, a Honda CR-V with one of the best long-term reliability records in its class. At the upper end of this range, $20,000 to $25,000, you're starting to reach late-model compact SUVs and the math becomes compelling. The average buyer paid $36,800 new for a compact SUV in February 2026, a used version of the same class with 30 or 40,000 miles priced at $22,000 is a real discount, and someone else absorbed those first expensive years of depreciation. Above $25,000, you're in near new territory, and that's where buyers need to be the most deliberate. At $28,000 or $30,000 for a used vehicle, you're sometimes only a few $1,000s away from an entry-level new car with a full factory warranty and 0 miles. Run the comparison directly. If a 3-year-old used car at $28,000 has 80,000 miles and no warranty left, a new base model at $32,000 might actually be the better financial decision. Every situation is different, but the calculation is worth doing before you assume used is always cheaper. Now the dangers, because this is where a lot of buyers lose money. The bait and switch is the most common dealership trap. The FTC's 2024 Auto Retail Report estimates that nearly half of consumers encounter some version of this when they visit a dealership. You see a car at a specific advertised price. You show up and suddenly that car is sold, or the price only applies to a stripped base model, or there are mandatory add-ons bundled in. The FTC's Cars Rule, which took effect July 30, 2024, requires dealers to disclose all charges and get your explicit consent for any add-ons. Know the rule. Reference it if a dealer starts slipping things in. Add-ons are one of the most consistent money drains in a dealership deal. A 2024 Kelley Blue Book report found the average buyer pays approximately $1,195 for add-ons they didn't agree to. Window etching, nitrogen-filled tires, paint protection, fabric sealant, these generate near pure profit for the dealer and close to zero value for you. A 2023 Experian report found that payment packing, folding the cost of extras into your monthly payment without itemizing them, adds an average of $2,200 to the total cost. Read every line of the contract. You're not obligated to pay for anything you didn't agree to. Extended warranties are worth a separate conversation. Dealers mark them up by as much as 300% according to a 2023 AAA study. That doesn't make them worthless, but it does mean you should price a warranty separately from the car, compare it to third-party providers, and never let it get buried inside a monthly payment where you can't see what you're actually paying for it. The yo-yo financing scam is specifically monitored by the FTC. You sign everything, drive home, settle in, then 3 days later the dealer calls saying your financing fell through and you need to come back for a new deal at a higher rate or give the car back. It's illegal. The protection against it is simple. Don't take possession. of the vehicle until the financing is fully confirmed and the paperwork is complete. For private sellers, the risk profile is different. Odometer rollbacks, VIN cloning where someone puts a clean VIN from a legitimate vehicle onto a salvage or stolen car, fake vehicle history reports, and title washing all happen in the private market. Run the VIN through the National Motor Vehicle Title Information System. Get a Carfax or AutoCheck report, then get an independent mechanic inspection before you hand over any money. That inspection costs $100 to $200. It can save you thousands and sometimes save you from a car that isn't safe to drive. If a seller refuses to let you have the car inspected, that's your answer: walk away. If you're shopping on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, treat any price that's significantly below market value as a warning sign, not a win. The Better Business Bureau has documented transport scams where the seller claims to be in another city and asks you to wire money for a car that will be delivered. The car never arrives. Never wire money for a car you haven't physically seen. Never pay with gift cards. Never send a deposit before you've met the seller in person and verified the vehicle exists. Here's how to approach each budget in practice: under $15,000. Stay close to Toyota, Honda, and Mazda from their strongest model years. Service history matters more than price. Get an inspection without exception. Verify odometer readings against physical wear on the car. Expand your search area if needed. Supply is tight and good examples may not be at your nearest dealer. $15,000 to $25,000, the strongest window in today's market. Before you walk into a dealership, get pre-approved for financing through your bank or credit union. That gives you a real number to negotiate from and removes the dealer's control over your financing terms. Use Kelley Blue Book's instant cash offer before you trade anything in, so you know what your car is actually worth before the dealer tells you. Above $25,000, run the new versus used comparison directly. Evaluate whether a CPO warranty changes the equation, and be honest about the maintenance costs of whatever you're considering. A used luxury vehicle at this price can cost significantly more to own than a mainstream model at the same purchase price. And for every budget, every time, run the VIN, get the inspection, and read the complete contract before you sign it. Not after. The used car market in 2026 is workable, but it's built to reward buyers who arrive prepared. The ones who skip the research, let urgency take over, and trust a seller's word without verification are the ones who pay for it later. The good deals are real. You just have to be the buyer who actually does the work to find them.